All right. And I hope y'all can see that. I'm about to get started. Um, gonna go live. Live. We are teaching today. Um, we're talking about attachment styles, and just all of those different things. So hopefully y'all can see me okay. Yeah, I hope y'all can see me okay. I gotta get a little marker real quick so that I'll be able to write some stuff down. So let me put this in my pocket. Um, but today, of course, I wanted to talk about attachment styles, just kind of give y'all a brief overview of what attachment styles are. So today, what I'm going to talk about is we're going to talk about it from a friendship level, a relationship level, and then also from a romantic, emotional safety. So we'll talk about friendships, relationships, and emotional safety. And then if there's any questions or anything that anybody has, I'll be more than happy to answer that. We can talk about that. I'm gonna try to sit down so y'all could, y'all still can see. All right, so that's how we're gonna do it. All right. So I'm sorry if stuff is all over the place. We need to make sure we good here. Make sure we good there with the lighting and whatnot. All right. All right. So hopefully y'all can see this. I know my handwriting probably messy. But again, I hope y'all can see that. So I want to talk about today. I've been studying about attachment styles. I've been going through this certification to talk about attachment theory and all of those different things. And so I just wanted to come on, share this with you all. We're going to talk about them as a whole, just an overall overview today. And then for the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about the individual attachments by themselves. And so that's what we're gonna do. I appreciate y'all being here with me, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy, and whatnot. And so, yeah, man, I just wanna serve, man, and make the world a better place. And like I always say, my team always tell me that they appreciate me showing up, and people appreciate me showing up. So I'm gonna, make sure that I do that. So let's get into it. And of course, again, we're going to talk about attachment styles from a friendship level, a relationship level, and then also emotional safety. And so I want to give just a brief overview of what attachment styles are for my people that don't know what attachment styles are. So I just kind of want to give you a brief overview of that. So let me give this to you all real quick. All right. So attachment styles describe subconscious patterns in relationships developed in childhood that dictate how we seek intimacy, handle closeness, primarily falling into four types, right? So you have the secure, you have the anxious, you have the dismissive, and you have the FA, which is the fearful and avoidant. Um, and so I'm going to talk about, like I said, I'm going to give you all an overall overview of each one of these. And then each week, for the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about each one individually, what that looks like. I'm going to give you all some tools on how, that can show up for you. Um, and then also give you some tools for some of you all. You may be anxious, you may be dismissive, you may be fearful or avoidant. It may not be you. But you may have recognized this in some of your relationships or just friendships or people that you're dealing with, right? So first we have the secure attachment. With the secure attachment, the secure person, they avoid emotional inconsistency and self-betrayal most consistently, right? So their core beliefs, what their core beliefs are, I'm worthy of love and others are generally reliable. So what that looks like is that they're very secure in who they are. They don't have a problem with spending time by themselves. They don't believe or think that their worth has is decreased or attached to somebody else or different things like that. And again, they believe that they're worthy of love. And others are generally reliable. So they believe that other people are reliable based off of how people have showed up for them consistently and different things like that. A way that, excuse me, a way that it shows up, how it shows up in a secure attachment is communicates needs clearly, tolerates conflict, doesn't abandon self to keep connection. Has anybody ever gone through something before where you've abandoned your needs just to keep the relationship or just to keep that other person happy, right? Like you abandon your own needs. You know your needs are not being met, and you know that this person isn't meeting your needs, right? And so when you have a secure attachment, you don't abandon yourself just to keep the connection, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendships, whatever the case may be. The origin and nuance when it comes to a secure attachment is that they grew up with mostly consistent. I'm gonna say it one more time for my people in the back. They grew up with mostly consistent and responsive caregiving. So they had someone, right? Like for my people, right? Like for my people that are secure attachments, their parents or caregiver or whoever it was, they showed up for them consistently, right? And so let me take my glasses off, excuse me. And so what that looks like is showing up consistently emotionally, showing up consistently mentally, showing up consistently financially, physically, like all of those different things, right? Like when you grow up with that, right, you don't have an issue with saying like, yo, like because you can't give me what I need, I don't need this. I don't need this relationship. It's easy for them to walk away, right? So that's what that looks like. And then just down there at the bottom, secure doesn't mean perfect because I don't want anybody to think that when I'm talking about the secure attachment that I'm saying like, oh, it means that this person is perfect because that's not the case. Nobody's perfect, right? So understanding that, right? Secure doesn't mean perfect. It means repair happens and trust can be built. Has anybody ever experienced something before where someone has broke your trust and because, how can I say this? They broke your trust, but because you were so secure in who you are, that one, they took accountability and changed the behavior, right? Like I believe that you can give people second chances as long as they take responsibility and accountability for the part that they played in the equation. And so with that, right, secure doesn't mean perfect. It means repair happens and trust can be built. All right. So that's what a secure attachment is. Let me give you all some. Let's see. Let me give you some examples when it comes to friendships for secure attachment. If plans change, they're disappointed, but they don't spiral or shut down. They ask what's going on instead of assuming rejection. That's for a friendship when it comes to a secure attachment. Romantic relationships, they can say that hurt me without turning it into a fight or a threat to leave. Okay. Emotional safety, when it comes to a secure attachment, it says they don't stay quiet to keep the peace and they don't disappear to avoid discomfort. That's good. All right. So let's go with the number two. We're going to go with the anxious attachment style. So I want to talk about this one here. This one here is really, really important. I've had women that I've dated that were anxious attachment styles. So I'm very familiar with, the anxious attachment as well as the DA, which is dismissive avoidant. And so I'm very familiar with those things as well. But I wanted to talk about the anxious attachment. And so with the anxious attachment, a person that's very anxious, they avoid emotional inconsistency by self-betrayal. So they betray themselves a lot. They have a lot of conversations with themselves and different things like that. And they avoid inconsistency by self-betrayal. Their core belief when it comes to an anxious attachment style. Connection is fragile. You ever had someone that has an anxious attachment style and their connection, like literally, like 1 minute everything can be good, and then within the next 5 to 10 minutes, there's an issue or a problem about something? Y'all ever experienced that before? You ever had, or do you know someone like that? Right? So their connection is fragile. I must work to keep people close. One of their biggest fears is abandonment. So fear of abandonment drives behavior. I remember I used to date a woman that was anxious, and if I didn't text back within a certain amount of time, it could be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Oh man, like she was, when I say unraveling, like, why are you not texting me back? What's going on? What's the issue? Like, all of those different things. And I understood why, right? Because she dealt with the loss of a person. So I can understand, like, I understand why you are feeling like this, right? Like if I don't respond back within an extended period of time, then you get triggered and you think that, oh my God, like I lost this person, something happened, or whatever the case may be. So I had to learn how to do a better job at communicating, and I had to over communicate sometimes, which is unfortunate because sometimes over communicating can be a form of begging, which that's a whole nother conversation for another day when it comes to communication, and I'll talk about that later. When it comes to anxious and how it shows up, so here, overgiving, people pleasing, hyper vigilant, all right? Hypervigilance to tone and distance. They don't like distance. They don't like people that give them the cold shoulder and different things like that, right? Like they're not with that. They're not for that. But the crazy thing about it is that when you get a person that deals with an anxious attachment style, they will give distance, right? Now they don't like when you give them distance, but they'll give you distance when they're triggered. All right. Origin. I'm sorry. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me say this right here. So for how it shows up, right here in the bottom, if y'all see, it says emotional safety depends on reassurance. So if you've ever had a person, and again, I'm only speaking from my experiences and what I have gone through, but I had a person that I dated a person that had a anxious attachment style, and she always wanted me to give her reassurance. Like she would say her happiness. No, she ain't never say that. Let me take that back. So emotional safety depends on reassurance. Like she always asked me, like, do you like me? Do you like my body? What do you think of me? Like I always got those questions, like all the time. And sometimes it was frustrating, sometimes it was agitating, sometimes it was annoying. Sometimes. And so with that, like understanding that, like it's unfortunate. But their origin and nuances is that inconsistent caregiving, love was unpredictable. They often mistaken as too much, but it's a nervous system seeking stability. My God, that's a bar, right? So oftentimes when you have a person that has an anxious attachment style, you have people that mistaken them as, and they're telling them, hey, you're too much. You're too much. You're asking me for too much. You're doing too much. Like why are you acting like this? When in actuality, it's their nervous system seeking stability. They need stability. They need the reassurance. They need someone to love on them, to create emotional safety and different things like that. So that's one of the things when it comes to our anxious attachment style. And then what that looks like when it comes to friendships, relationships, and emotional safety, when it comes to an anxious attachment style, what that looks like is in friendships, you notice who watched your story but didn't text back, and it changes your mood. I know I'm at somebody's front door right now. I already know. Y'all ain't even got to tell me. I know I'm at somebody's front door right now. Has anybody ever experienced that before? Like you text one of your friends, but then you see them posting on social media, and then it changes your mood. Come on, man. Y'all talk to me, man. Come on. I thought we was being honest and transparent with one another. Is that not what we doing? I thought that's what we was doing. So that's good, man. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. So let's see here. What else we got? I wanna make sure that we are. Let me see here. What she said? You need to be in the pic and talk to us. We want to see you too. Oh, I got you, mom. I got you. I'm trying to do what I can. I know it's a little struggle, but we making it happen. We making it do what it do. So, all right. So, yeah. So that's the anxious attachment style. The dismissive avoidant. This one here is very, very, very. This one here is a bad one. This one here messes up when it comes to attachment styles. The dismissive avoidant. This one is probably one of the biggest ones that most people experience. Um, However, anyways, I just thought about something and was like, yo, like your boy just thought about something. Anyways, so let me fix this. My bad, y'all. Let me fix this. 1 second. I'm sorry. Sorry about this, y'all. Yeah, let me fix this because I heard I need to fix it. Yeah, there we go. Your boy can zoom in now. Oh yeah, we in our bag now. I got it now. I think I got it. Yep. Boom. There we go. All right, fit. Y'all see that? Oops. Let me get it out the camera. All right. All right, here we go. So dismissive avoidant is what we're talking about. For the people that's just joining us, we're talking about attachment styles. I wanted to give you all just an overall overview of the four different attachments. When it comes to attachment theory, attachment styles deal with emotional safety, trust, romantic relationships, different things like that. So I wanted to touch on these things and kind of give you all some insight, and then talk about it and kind of give you all share with you all to say like, hey, listen, have you noticed this in a friendship? Have you noticed this in a relationship? Like, have you noticed this in emotional safety and different things like that? So I wanted to share these things with you all because this is some stuff that I've been studying and working on to get my certification in. So I wanted to share these things with you all. All right. So let's talk about dismissive avoidance. All right. So I dated a woman that was a DA. She was a very high DA actually. So dismissive avoidance, I probably had maybe three, maybe four dismissive avoidance throughout my life that I can recall. So when we talk about a dismissive avoidant, has anybody? I'm gonna give you all an example. Have you ever talked to someone and when you're talking to them, you tell them how their actions hurt you in a way, and when you express that to them, they completely shut down or they discard you or they immediately jump to the defense or they automatically dismiss what you're feeling to say like, hey, that's not true, or you don't know what you're talking about, or whatever the case may be. Most dismissive avoidance, well, most avoidance in general, they like to gaslight you. So when we talk about a dismissive avoidant, they avoid emotional closeness. So when I say emotional closeness, I'm talking about like emotional intimacy, right? Like you get some people that everything is great. Like when I say everything is great, like financially y'all good, physically y'all good, communicatively you all are good, spiritually you all are good. But when it comes to emotional intimacy, that's where they draw the line. Anybody ever experienced that before? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, cool. If y'all got questions, leave them in the comments. I'd definitely be more than happy to answer them. Um, but let's get into it. All right, so core belief for a dismissive avoidant is needing others is unsafe. I'm better of self-reliant. Independence equals protection. I'm gonna let that marinate and sizzle in y'all spirit for a second. Independence equals protection. How does it show up? It shows up by doing emotional distancing, minimizing needs, shutting down during conflict. For them, safety equals space, not closeness. Yeah. Origins and nuances. Caregivers discouraged emotion or rewarded independence. Avoidant, a dismissive avoidant isn't the lack of care. Closeness activates threat. So I remember I dated a woman that was a dismissive avoidant, and her words, not mine. I remember her telling me like, "Yo, everything is good with us, Logan. Everything is great, but the emotional side of things." And so for me, I was like, okay, well, let's figure it out. What's up? Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And she would say things like, oh, I don't know if I can give you that, different things like that. She would also, try to gaslight. She also told me that omitting wasn't lying. Um, there's a multitude of different things when I play conversations back in my head. I think about like, okay, like what else? But those red flags were there the whole time. Um, but it's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see them till after the fact. And once I realized them and seen them, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm out. I gotta go. I'll see y'all later. Peace. I'm out. So also had to tell, what I'm saying, the avoidant that I dated, I also had to tell her like, yo, just because you can't give me what I need doesn't decrease my worth or my value. It don't. It shows who you are as a human being, and it shows who you are and the capacity that you have. Because I showed up 100% authentically myself, right? Loving, caring, protecting, flirting, like all of that type of stuff, right? Like I showed up 100% myself, but this person decided not to do that, right? Because again, closeness activates threat. So they don't want you to be close, right? They don't want to be close to you, which is unfortunate because it's like, yo, like how do you get to know somebody without trying to be close to them? If I can't be close to you, that's not emotional intimacy. That's surface, and you calling it substance. My God, that's the bar, man. Listen, let's come on. Let me get back in it. Come on, here we go. All right, y'all. So a dismissive. This is how it shows up in friendships. This is how it shows up in romantic relationships. And then I'm gonna tell you all emotional safety. All right, so friendships, you're the one people say is hard to read or never ask for help during hard times. The reason why that is because there was a moment in time where they needed someone to show up for them, right? And this person, whether it's a caregiver, guardian, whoever the case may be, they didn't show up for them. So you get people that are dismissive avoidance, right? And they're hyper independent. Romantic relationships. When someone gets emotionally close, they suddenly feel suffocated or start finding reasons they're not right for you or they're not right for the relationship. So what they like to do is that they will discard you. When you deal with an avoidant, they will discard you. They will ghost you. And then they'll say things like, hey, it's me, it's not you. They'll also say things like, hey, like, you're not asking for too much, and then you ask for examples and they can't give them to you, right? Like I remember I dated a dismissive avoidant, and she told me, hey, listen, you're not asking for too much. And I was like, okay, cool. And then when we had some conflict, it was, you're not asking for too much, you're asking for something that's outside of the norm. So in actuality, you're telling me that I'm asking for too much. It's crazy. Right? Dismissive avoidance, they're very meticulous with their words and how they communicate. So again, they don't like closeness. They see closeness as a threat. So you'll get dismissive avoidance that will be in relationships and they can deal with people mistreating them, cheating on them, and all of those different things. But as long as you don't give me any type of emotional closeness, like as long as you don't ask that from me, I'll be in this relationship with you until God come back. And it's unfortunate that they see it like that. Emotional safety for a dismissive avoidant. They convince themselves that they're fine alone, but feel irritated when others expect emotional access. Yep, yep. So that is a DA, that is a dismissive avoidant. I want to talk about the FA, which is a fearful avoidant. And we trying to get this thing popping and get it all together, because I definitely want to talk about that with y'all, because this one, that dismissive avoidant, that fearful avoidant, that's a good one right there. That's a really, really good one. I like the dismissive avoidant. I like that one a lot. So let's get into it, because I used to be a fearful avoidant, and being a fearful avoidant, like that came from just the trauma that I experienced as an adolescent, and different things like that, which is unfortunate, but things happen. So I want to share that with you all. We're gonna get into that. I want to talk about that. Let's see here. Do we got any other? Questions? Anybody got any questions or anything? No. Okay, cool. Let's look what we got over here. Let me see. What we got over here. Any questions or anything? I don't think so. I don't think we got no questions. But all right, y'all. Let's go ahead and let's finish up. How do you feel about therapy? I love therapy. Therapy and couples therapy. If you get someone that's completely open to wanting to make the necessary changes, it can really change the trajectory of your relationship if you get someone that's willing to do the work. I think that's the biggest thing, is trying to get someone that wants to do the work, because you get most people that don't want to do the work. They just want you to already be perfect, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's just how some people are, unfortunately, right? So, all right, let's finish up here, y'all. Sorry, man. I'm all over the place at the moment, and my lens a little dirty. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry about this. All right. All right, y'all. Let's finish up. All right. So let's talk about the fearful avoidant. Let me put my glasses back on, because I really want y'all to. Your boy been over here. I've been over here studying and working, man. So, um, let's finish it up. All right. So we're gonna talk about the FA. The FA is a fearful avoidant. I used to be a fearful avoidant. A lot of people don't know that. But I used to be a fearful avoidant. And with the fearful avoidant, we would do the push and pull cycles, right? So we avoid the FA avoids emotional inconsistency through the push and pull cycle. So what that looks like is they do like the hot and cold thing. Excuse me. Does that make sense? They do the hot and cold thing. What that looks like is that 1 minute they hot, right? The they all for you, right? You're all for them, all of those different things. And then when conflict happens, they want to pull it away. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, y'all. I really do. If it doesn't, leave me a comment in the chat, or leave me a comment in the on whatever platform you're on, and I'll be sure to answer it. Okay. So, all right, here we go. Core beliefs for a fearful avoidant. Core beliefs are: I want connection, but it's dangerous. Love and fear are fused as one. When you deal with a person that is a fearful and avoidant, what happens is that they want connection, but they believe that it's dangerous because of past experiences, trauma, different things that they've experienced in life. That when they gave love, it was taken away from them, or when they put out love, they were mistreated in some way, right? And this happens as a child, whether it's with a parent, whether it's with a caregiver, whatever the case may be. They think that it's dangerous to want a connection with somebody. And I can attest to that. Like, before, before going through, not even before, because I'll probably say like my early stages of therapy, I was still a fearful and avoidant and still struggling with some things. Um, but I thought that love and fear were fused together and that it was one thing, until I realized I had to separate the two. And the moment that I started to separate the two, I noticed the difference between what love was and what fear was. I started when I say I separated the two and I started to notice the difference, like something as simple as communicating my needs or communicating how the other person hurt me, and not feeling like they're gonna abandon me or not feel like I'm going to get in trouble or different things like that. Because there were moments as a kid when I was growing up that when I expressed myself, I got in trouble for it, just for expressing myself, right? So that's one of the core beliefs. Now, how it shows up: intense bonding followed by withdrawal, confusion, mistrust of self and others, right? So when it comes to a fearful avoidant, how it shows up in some instances, not all, but in some instances, um, intense bonding followed by withdrawal, confusion, mistrust of self and others. Emotional safety feels unstable across all relationships. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, I was toxic, and if I didn't have any type of toxicity in my life, I thought that my life was boring. Yeah, like I thought that boring was lame. I thought that boring meant that you wasn't cool. I thought that boring meant that, yo, you don't have no love life. You don't have any real excitement in your life, right? So for me, when I used to be a fearful avoidant, I was very toxic. And with that, it was because emotional safety, it felt unstable. Yep, it felt unstable. So origins and nuances when it comes to, of course, when it comes to a fearful and avoidant, caregiving was chaotic, frightening, or abusive. I did get abused a lot. I did. Boy, I got beat with a extension cord coming out the bathtub. I think I still got pictures of it somewhere. But when I was a baby, man, I got abused. Anyways, but the origin and nuance when it comes to fearful and avoidant, like I said, caregiving was chaotic, frightening, or abusive. So those are some of the challenges. And that's where, when, like I said, the fearful and avoidant, that's where the origin and nuance comes from. Also, when it comes to a fearful and avoidant, strongly linked to unresolved trauma. This is about survival. So because I was raised on survival, listen to me, y'all. So because I was raised on survival, I was a fearful and avoidant. And when it came to a fearful and avoidant, like friendships, romantic relationships, emotional safety, like, man, it was crazy. So for friendships, you crave closeness, then pull back once people start to really know you. So like once you get someone that really knows you and really rocks with you and really sees you for you, you start to pull back. Okay? Romantic relationships. One day you want deep intimacy, the next day you're emotionally gone and don't fully know why. When I dealt with anxiety, when I dealt with depression, when I dealt with suicidal ideation, when I dealt with all of those different things, the trauma that, you know what I'm saying, I experienced growing up, one day, I'll put it this way. So, words of affirmations was my love language growing up as a kid. Like I wanted to be affirmed. I was seeking validation in all the wrong areas and all the wrong places. Right? So much to the point that I would be whatever that person wanted me to be, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. I tried my best to be that because I wanted them to validate me. Does that make sense? Okay. So for romantic relationships, when it comes to a fearful and avoidant, what that looks like is that one day you want deep intimacy, the next day you're emotionally gone and don't fully know why. Right? Emotional safety. You don't trust closeness or distance. Both feel threatening in different ways. So I was one of those individuals that right out the gate, I don't 100% trust you. It's so funny we're talking about this because I was talking about this with my therapist and I was talking about this with one of my close friends. But right out the gate, I wouldn't give anybody 100% trust. Again, I was a fearful avoidant. I'm a secure attachment now, but I used to be a fearful avoidant. And I'll probably post them on our platforms so that way y'all can see. And I'll also give you all the link to the tests that you all can take so you can know about the different attachment styles and to also see what type of attachment style you are. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to know, right? So when what was I talking about? Oh, okay, I know what I was talking about. So I wouldn't give people 100% trust right out the gate because I automatically thought that, yo, you gonna burn me. You ain't gonna be here for me. You're not gonna rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those different things. Like I would just automatically just do people like that. Like I would rob people of the choice to be there for me or to support me or to love me and different things like that. Does that make sense? All right. So emotional safety, when it comes to fearful and avoidant, is you don't trust closeness or distance. Both feel threatening in different ways. All right. And then what I also want to say before we get up out of here, because we're getting ready to wrap it up, we got about 4 minutes. Um, your attachment style isn't how you love when things are good. Because when things are good and things are great, you don't, you're not, how can I say this? When things are good, sometimes you meet people's representative. When things are bad, that's who that person really is. So what I'm saying is that your attachment style isn't how you love when things are good. It's how you protect yourself when things feel uncertain. So when everything is good, right? You, how can I say this? When everything is good, you don't know when everything is good, you don't know if you when everything is good, you don't know you don't know how you all handle conflict. Like you don't see that, right? You get some people that they shut down when there's conflict. You get some people that they go ghost when there's conflict. You get some people that they dismiss, manipulate, gaslight you, right? They ignore you, all of those different things. They give you the cold shoulder. Like I was like that, right? Like they do those different things when it comes to emotional intimacy. Um, but this is just some of the things, man. I just wanted to show you all an overview. These are the 4 attachment styles. And again, next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, we're going to dive in deeper. I think I'm going to start with the fearful avoidant first and then work my way back to secure. So I want y'all to be prepared, man. Again, I am going to send you all a link to the test. I will put it in the comments. I'll put it in the chat. I'll also make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms, Y.B.Normal 2016. Go to our website. Go to shop.ybnormalgear.com. Make sure y'all buy some merch. Y'all see the hoodie, right? Let me make sure y'all see that. Y'all see the hoodie, right? Make sure y'all get y'all a hoodie, a t-shirt, something. Even books. I've written 27 books. 20 and all 27 of them are transcribed either in English or 24 of them are transcribed in English and Spanish, right? And we're getting ready to put them in 9 more languages. So I'm super excited about that. And again, man, this is the attachment styles. And again, you have the secure attachment, you have the anxious attachment, you have the dismissive attachment, and you have the fearful and avoidant attachment. And so that is class for today. And I'll see y'all next week, man. And as always, why be normal when you can be extraordinary? I love y'all.